It's time for Real Estate 101 with the Karey Brown team from Realty Executives Preferred Advisors.
Good Sunday morning to you. This is Karey Brown, broker owner of Realty Executives Preferred Advisors, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. Today I'm here with Jenny Torrence, and Jenny owns Pinkadilly, Serendipity, and Noto Burrito. Where did you come up with those names?
I've really gotten you getting them. The more I can get you to repeat them.
I know, right?
Yeah. So Serendipity was really because that was just a fun new business adventure, not something I'd ever planned on doing. And so it was very serendipitous. It was kind of thrown at me, and it really worked. Noto Burrito, I really just wanted people to know we had a good dive burrito shop down there. And then Pinkadilly was, I love to travel. It's probably my favorite passion. And I love London. I love the UK. And so with Piccadilly Circus, and you can't go wrong with pink. So just had to make it a little Pinkadilly. So they just have all kind of fit in and tied in together now.
So we both have a passion for travel. If you know anything about me, if somebody paid me to travel, I'd be gone, gone.
I know, right? I'm taking options. Some offers here if anybody'd like it.
And I'm going with her, so be sure and let us know. Okay, so whenever it comes to running those business, how on earth are you running 3 businesses at one time?
Well, I now have a great team with me, which I think is huge, and it has been a juggle. But I try to make smart decisions along the way. Instead of renting the buildings and things, I purchased them and made just different decisions, based on long term instead of trying to do it as a short term thing. And so they were added a little quicker than I wanted, and a little plumped down as one threesome. So it's been a challenge for me. It has taught me a lot of things. I'd never owned a restaurant, I'd never owned a gift boutique, and I'd never ran a bar. So it was learning and teaching myself and teaching my team. And so it's been a long process.
We are kindred spirits. Everything I do, it's head first, whether I know how or not. I just smile and act like I knew what I was doing.
Absolutely. What's the worst that can happen?
Well, you could go broke, but besides that.
I guess that is true. That is very true. That is a very valid point on that one. Totally good.
But as long as you're having fun, right?
That's true. Amen.
So, again, you're down in Noto. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the Noto scene.
Absolutely. Well, it's amazing to me still how many people have not made it down to the Noto Arts and Entertainment District. And so if you're not familiar with it, it is the old downtown of Topeka. And so it literally, when you cross the river, you either would cross the Topeka Boulevard Bridge or the Kansas Avenue Bridge. And we're on the north side, and you have to kind of jog over after they've rebuilt this bridge. And about 7 years ago, the Noto, I've realized I have a bad pronunciation of the Noto. It's really Noto. I thought, I've said this for a long time. And so it's this rehab of really bringing back and revitalizing the buildings and seeing businesses come back to life. And it's just been neat to, when I first started almost 7 years ago, I might not see a soul for days. And now I pull up and there's not even parking. And so if people haven't gotten out and explored our town, they need to. Because we've got we've got so many cool things going on right now. It's impressive.
Absolutely. So let's jog back to Airbnb. Mm-hmm. I had a guest on from the Topeka Partnership, formerly the Chamber, and we were talking about all the businesses around here. And Evel Knievel's museum, mm-hmm. the traffic that comes through there is 51% out-of-staters.
I don't doubt that.
So, I think that there would be a need for an Airbnb or a VRBO here in town. And I've got a friend that just turned an apartment into an Airbnb. But I know that you do that when you travel. Let's talk about what that's like.
I do. And when you're talking about your friend doing that here in town, Topeka doesn't have enough of those, in my opinion. I would love to get a couple houses in Noto, a block or so off, that as this area progresses, artists can come in and travelers, and tourism dollars are really huge in a community, and getting people to come and visit, like you said, with the Evel Knievel, which if you have not gone there, you need to. It's impressive. But, when you have that tourism dollars, you want to capture them however you can. And so it's the heads in the beds. And Airbnb is a great way to travel that I love because it's like you've taken your home and moved it there and you're comfortable. And so, I travel a lot. I have not gotten up the nerve to put my house on Airbnb yet. I would love to have somebody if they knew about that. But especially with all of our legislative sessions and things going on, we need more in this town.
Absolutely.
We need them.
So what's your experience? Because I know a lot of people have not been to an Airbnb. And if you're considering doing it, obviously we do have a lot of tourism dollars coming through mm-hmm. this city. What is it like? just kind of explain it so people that haven't done it know what it's like.
What it is. So, when I do it, my biggest thing always is reading reviews. I always just think people are honest on that. Now, let me just preface that a little bit. I think each business thing has its own reviews. So take this completely separate than like a food review. But, when it comes to a housing or things or that somebody's spending that amount of money for, they're pretty accurate usually, and they're pretty passionate about it. And so, one, if they don't have any reviews, I don't typically book them. I'm not going to be the first one to try them. Let somebody else do it. But otherwise, I just follow the reviews. And I'm a big person when I travel. I want white bedding. I know it's clean and probably sanitary. And so it's just a great way that I can flip through these houses. I click entire house. And so then that way, regardless whether I'm traveling with myself or my dog or whatever, I have my home where I go, and I have a refrigerator, and then I can take my leftovers for the snack the next day. So it's just really a great option of traveling. And if you're not a hotel or motel person, I think it's the best way to do it.
Absolutely. So we do VRBOs a lot, and very much the same thing. We look for the ratings, especially whenever we're going to, ocean type places. You can rent condos and things like that. So if you've ever considered having a home, like a second home, I know we talk about it a lot because I would really love to retire south. Mm-hmm. I've never been a huge fan of snow. I was 11 years old before I saw snow, and it lasted for 24 hours.
Oh, my goodness.
The year I moved here, there was ice everywhere and snow everywhere, and I was like, how'd I do this again?
Yeah, you're like, this was not a smart decision. Not a good move.
And, of course, I've been here for 22 years. But at the same time, when I retire, I want to go south. So we looked at, should we buy something and then rent it out during the year, and we just block off when we would be there. You could do those same things here if you're looking for an investment. Because, again, you think 51% of the money just going in that one establishment alone is tourism dollars.
Mm-hmm. And so they really do need to translate that into that profit and that income that they could do, because it truly is there if they choose to do it. It's just it's really kind of thinking outside the box. It's not going with the norm of how making your money in that investment work for that one.
Absolutely. So you also own rental properties.
I do. Well, I do with this. That was a big new kind of endeavor for me. I had never really owned properties or bought properties, and obviously, it's a smart investment. And I've always known owning property is one of the best investments that you can have. And so, I wanted to, rent from myself versus rent and pay somebody else. So it was a smart decision for me. It's been a very big learning process. If you have never been a landlord before, it teaches you much.
Patience is one.
Patience is definitely one. It also teaches you to be detailed and document absolutely everything. And so that has been a big eye-opening experience of just because I am not, and I'm always just, do, and I can't be. So I really have to remember on things like that to document, take pictures, write notes, whatever you need to do, especially if you're getting ready to rent something out. It's just always easier to, cover your tush on those things and be preventative versus reactive.
Absolutely. So let's go plus and minuses, because people ask me all the time about what it's like to be a landlord. And I think it would be great to hear it from somebody who obviously owns commercial properties and residential properties. So honest, So when it comes to it, give me the positives of being a landlord.
The positives of being a landlord would be that you can make great money. I mean, you can absolutely make great money. And it is a great way for an investment that can pay for itself. I mean, if you're smart about a property, you could buy it, rent it out, it pays its mortgage, takes care of itself, and in the end, you obviously have a property. But it's a challenge. I mean, you have to be willing to step up to the challenge and don't quit before payday. I mean, just keep doing it, stay on the maintenance, stay focused on the building, the house, whatever.
Absolutely. So with that being said, there are negatives of owning rental property. So whenever you're thinking about it and you're saying, okay, well, where should I invest my money? obviously I sell real estate. I would love for you to buy a house. But at the same time, I think people need to understand it's not a cakewalk. You don't just get to throw somebody in there, and people don't always take care of your house the way they should.
Absolutely. And I think, it's even like when it comes to your business or your car, if it's a rental car, people will never take care of things the way that you would. And so that is hard, and that's disheartening, especially if it's a property that you have put your blood, sweat, and tears in, you love, any of that. And when there's a damage or something, you see somebody's put a hole in the wall, it crushes you. And that's a hard thing to be able to step back out of it and realize stuff is going to happen. It's a property, and things will get hurt and damage will occur.
Right. And, there's always two sides of the coin. Sometimes there are bad renters. Sometimes there are bad landlords.
True. Very true.
If you've got a good landlord, be good to them. Because let me tell you, we've seen some pretty ugly stuff in this business and people living in conditions that they should not live in. But at the same time, again, that's a two-way street. Don't tear up people's houses.
Well, it really is amazing to me. And I have struggled sometimes even with commercial property. And, you and I were talking about earlier is that I just try every day to think about, it's kind of like the golden rule. So any situation I think about, how would this affect the other person? So think of it the same way as a property. I don't like to put nails in my walls, so I wouldn't put nails in a ton of, in their walls. I don't like certain things. Just think of somebody else in the property, if you're a renter, of how to be respectful of it. Think about it as it is your property and how you would take care of and want your property, returned to you. And so I think if we all just made that effort on everything, it'd make the world a much better place.
It would. So now I want to hear about your shops.
Okay.
Let's break them down. Let's start with Pinkadilly.
Okay. Well, Pinkadilly, it's funny because often I'm asked which is my favorite or which do I enjoy more, and they're so different, which has kind of been neat because they've all been different challenges. Pinkadilly has been a progression of different things, and it's now getting to the point where it's kind of reflecting me. And I think so many times I've tried to fit into people's mold on different things in general. I've been a young professional businesswoman for many years, and I am very liberal. I have a foul mouth. I have different things, and I've always tried to fit into somebody else's mold of what's right. And so I now have learned, I've done okay. I work hard. I do the right thing. And so I'm okay. I don't have to fit into that mold. And so I've kind of allowed that with Pink. I think cards with icky humor is funny. I think things are funny. And so the shop has been able to take that on and kind of reflect me. And I love when I can hear ladies laughing in the corner and giggling about my funny greeting cards or that kind of thing. So it's been fun. I have clothing, average and plus size, which I think is obviously a very important thing. And then I have a lot of Topeka things and Topeka pride, of our community and things of that. So it's been a fun gift shop. If you need a gift, not much for boys, but if you need a gift for anybody, whether it's a personal gift, a birthday gift, whatever, we probably have you covered at Pinkadilly.
All right, now serendipity.
I know. See, look, I got you caught. You got caught on that one.
I did.
It's so hard. Serendipity. We got the serendipity. Serendipity it's a fun space. It's an event space, and so our primary business is we host weddings, wedding receptions, corporate events, galas, that kind of thing. And it's really neat because, one, the spirit of the space is just a good feeling space. I just think it feels good. It's a fun spirit. And it's a beautiful space. I didn't build the space. I've just polished the space. And so it's been fun. I've got to share in a lot of life experiences in other lives, from, births to deaths to weddings, and to be part of their world. And so it's kind of been a neat thing to see. And my family has grown exponentially simply because each time there's a wedding or something, I inherit a few more family members.
Well, that would be very rewarding. I mean,
it really
in itself.
It really is. And then to even see, brides that now have 2 kids and what's going on. And it has been a fun thing to see, because that is important to me to even know. But, my dad always raised me that if somebody spent money with you, remember who they are. And I do. I mean, that I wouldn't be in business if people didn't do that. And so I think it is important when somebody takes the time to do that, to create those relationships and appreciation of that. And so I love the people that have come into Serendipity, and we have all kinds of characters, and I probably wouldn't trade any of them. I just love them. It's fun. It makes us colorful.
All right, Noto Burrito.
Noto Burrito. When I travel, I'm a picky eater. Let me just say that first off. So, you can't go wrong with a burrito. I mean, you cannot mess up rice and beans and cheese. And so as a picky eater, I always try to find a funky burrito shop because I know that I can eat it. And so, and it was an easy thing when we first started because it was rice and beans. Like, how hard can rice and beans be? Well, it is a little harder than just rice and beans. And I have learned that. But I just feel like every place needs a little funky dive burrito shop. And that's what it is. And I love it. I have the most eclectic staff and team around my world, and they're fun. And I promise if you come in, you will leave with a smile for one reason or another.
Whether you're laughing at them or you just found a funny card.
You are exactly right. Absolutely right.
Okay, so we're going to take a break real quick and listen to a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
This is Stephen Parkin at Invista Credit Union. Purchasing a home is one of the most exciting and important decisions someone can make. Let me tell you why Invista is the best choice for financing your new home purchase. First, quick pre-approval process. Our fast decision-making gives you the power to act quickly and make an offer on your dream home. Second, local servicing. We service your mortgage in-house. You won't get a long-distance runaround, but a committed professional whose only job is to help you. Third, experienced team. We are dedicated to simplifying the process and educating you through the home buying process. Come by Invista. It's okay to dream. In fact, it's encouraged. We are your home buying partner. Give us a call at 785-228-0149.
Southwest Topeka has a good neighbor. State Farm agent Jim Garrison, now at 29th and Urish. If your current insurance situation has you going around in circles, get off the roundabout and stop in and meet Jim and his wonderfully efficient staff. Let Jim Garrison give you a quote and make the Garrison comparison. He's confident that with State Farm's competitive rates, the right coverage, and his unmatched service, you'll want to make him your new insurance agent. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and Jim Garrison is there for you, northeast of the roundabout at 29th and Urish.
Thanks for joining us again. This is Karey Brown, broker, owner of Realty Executives Preferred Advisors, and you're listening to Real Estate 101, and I'm back with Jenny Torrance. Jenny owns Serendipity, Piccadilly, and Noto Burrito. You can tell that I paused just because I'm scared I'm going to say I'm wrong.
I know, but by the end of this, you're going to have them down pat.
I am.
Just got to get your practice.
We had some technical difficulties at first, so we started, the show several times, so I've had a little bit of practice this time.
She is on the 8th try and still not getting it, just for the record. Didn't want to rat you out there, but I'm
But you totally threw me under the bus.
I totally threw you under the bus.
And then backed the bus up. Okay, so Topeka Pride. Let's talk about that.
Topeka is really a cool community. And one of the things that the more I've gotten involved in the community, I have realized there's not anything wrong with Topeka itself. There's not anything wrong with what goes on, doesn't go on, what we have, what we don't have. It's truly like the minds of our Topekans. We have something in our brain space that has blocked us on loving and appreciating our town. I was even talking to somebody the other day when we were kids and we needed to go prom shopping. We would go to Kansas City. It's like somehow in Topeka we have been trained of taking it elsewhere, and that's nuts. Like, I don't know why when we have great property values, we have an amazing community, all these different things that we forget about that. And so when it comes to people coming into town, buying homes here, hello, why would anybody go elsewhere when we're the capital city? We have a lot of neat things. And so my goal has really is for people to understand how cool we are. And, you mentioned earlier about Evel Knievel Museum. And it was around Black Friday, and I had a couple come in to Piccadilly, and they had come in strictly for the Evel Knievel Museum. And they were in from St. Louis. And so, of course, I'm like, ooh, let me tell you about Topeka. I'm all excited. And they go, I'm kind of shocked you feel that way. And I said, why? So we've had a couple people just tell us you ought to move on.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, I was just a little chapped. Like, how dare you?
Direct me to them.
Exactly. Like, do you know that what their names were? And so then I started thinking, and the more I processed that, the more it bothered me, because I feel like, I am Topeka. I work really hard every day to better my community. I step up. I put my effort, my blood, my money in my community to better it. And so when people talk negatively in any regard, you're talking negatively about me. And I feel like they're talking negatively about you. And, and so we just have to change it that we are Topeka. So whether we like, our hiccups, we like our colorful parts, or we don't. We are what we are. And so I feel like we really have to embrace us. And so instead of taking our brains and thinking of what we might not have or what we might be different, let's focus on what we have that is right and who we are. And let's rock it. Instead of always wishing, let's rock it. We are Topeka. I love Topeka. I'm very proud of Topeka.
It's really crazy. After starting to do this show, I've interviewed so many different people, and obviously it's called Real Estate 101, but everything that happens inside of a community affects our real estate.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason why I bring it in, because, honestly, people will just get bored of you talking about houses. So what I found is even in the worst of areas that, they have a lot of struggles. Mm-hmm. There are so many fabulous programs going on to try and change that. One of my really good friends, he and Tim Bell, Chris Heaven and Tim Bell, started the OK program. Mm. And that is to help young minority men that don't typically have a father figure in their lives to see what a positive role model looks like. And they do so many great things with them. I mean, it's just the list is huge. So even in the areas that people, would look at and say, well, this isn't the what I say is pride of Topeka. There are so many different things going on to make it that way.
Absolutely. And lately I've kind of been on an Oprah kick of the thing is people can't do better if they don't know better.
Right.
And so many times we get frustrated, family members of a community, members of society that don't do something, don't handle something a certain way. Sometimes if they don't know better, they can't do better. And so unless we as community members want to step up and help people to know better and build our community and work together, we're not going to ever get there.
Absolutely. And if you think crime is just here, you're crazy.
Lord.
We have traveled all over the world, and I can tell you there's a problem everywhere you go.
There absolutely is. We just have some great news stations that cover our crime.
Right. Because we don't have a lot of stuff, to cover.
Yeah. And so I crime is everywhere. And it amazes me when you have to look apples to apples. Mm-hmm. And so it's not like we're a random, horrible, area for crime or violent, anything. It just amazes me that people have any of these perceptions.
Yeah. It's not like tourists disappear or they get drugged or anything like that. No. I mean, you're not seeing that here.
No.
Please, no one start that here.
Yeah. Not on our watch, please.
Yeah. But there's so much going on. I mean, like Topeka 365 and all those different places that you can go out and look for things to do. There's a parenting website. I think it's just called Topeka Parents, where you have all the different types of things that you can do for your kids and with your kids. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff to do in this city, and they're always making it better.
And if people aren't aware of things going on, Visit Topeka has totally stepped up and has made such changes and progress. And if you go to Visit Topeka's website, they have so many things, festivals coming up, Touch a Truck, Chocolate Festival, Mariachi Festival. I mean, you're exactly right. Our city has stepped up to bring us what we want.
I think what people are missing is maybe the small town feel.
It's a great way to say it. Yeah.
Whenever I was growing up, where I grew up, everybody knew me. My kids were always like, why don't you want to live here? Everybody knows who you are. And I was like, that's the reason why I don't want to live here. Everybody knew who I was. But when we're raising our kids, if I ever did anything wrong, and I'm not perfect, my parents knew before I hit the driveway.
Yeah.
I mean, and there may even been pictures, We
were raised by a village.
Yeah. And I think that people miss that. I mean, you come in, you raise the garage door, you drive in, you shut the garage door, and you go on with your life. And there's not enough of the communities where everybody knows everybody.
It was years ago. I used to live over in Holiday Park area, which I love. The old Victorian homes, and they have the porches. And a neighbor one time said that it had gone to the wayside when porches went away and air conditioners came in because people weren't sitting outside. And I think that's true. It's funny how many of my friends don't talk to their neighbors. And I love my neighbors. I always have. I've hung out with them. If I needed something. I absolutely love that. But it's getting out and enjoying your neighborhood and not just pulling in and putting that garage door down.
Absolutely. So take a minute, get to know your neighbors.
Yeah.
We, for homes that we sell, we've offered to do just an open house so that people can come in and meet their neighbors. And it's kind of weird. Not everybody wants that. And I could see it. I mean, I can. People are private. But I do think it's a cool way to get to know people.
Absolutely. I mean, I look at my parents, and they have lived in the same home for 40-some years, and they've had the same neighbors on all sides for probably 40-some years. These people have watched me grow up. I mean, everything about my life they have been involved in and seen, and it's because simply that they are our neighbors, and they've been a part of our world.
Absolutely. And that's the way I grew up. I grew up in a small farming town. I was raised by a farmer. I put in levee gates and all that good stuff and shot water moccasins. And, I grew up in the South. So if you ever hear that twang, that's where it came from.
That's why you're guilty of it.
Yeah. But yes, we did. I mean, we knew everybody. Like I said, they all knew us. And even to this day, they'll call me the Partridge Girl. And that hasn't been my name. Well, it's always been my name, but hasn't been a name I've gone by since I was 21.
That's great. So, that's great.
They don't know what it is now, but they knew who I was then. So, it's just really, it's our fault. We don't take the time to get to know our neighbors or get involved in the community.
You're absolutely right. And I think that's if people, a lot of times we sit behind a computer screen and we like to get on social media and complain or say what people could be doing differently. And if we all took the mindset of if we had something that we wanted changed and we offered a solution and they're willing to help with it at the same time, it would be completely different. And so if you go to, complain as a person about whatever, maybe step back and think, how can I be a part of the solution, and step up and do it, because we really all have to make that effort to be a part of our world and jump in and embrace it.
Absolutely. And if you really think about it, like I said, 51% of the traffic coming in here is coming from another state. Obviously, I mean, even inside of the state, but far away. So 51% of it is visitors. We have so much possibility here.
Oh, absolutely. And even like when it comes to, I was in a chamber meeting yesterday, and, we're looking at the new Pennant coming downtown, and we have the Cyrus Hotel, and then we have the Iron Rail Brewery coming in. And, I never believe in competition like that with restaurants. Topeka's population is 127,000, and my occupancy is 100 at Noto Burrito. So I am never in competition with another place in Topeka. I'm in competition with myself because I can't hold all of Topeka. And part of, I think, our growth in Topeka is even bringing some eaters back to Topeka. We don't even have to bring in even new people. We just have to keep some people in Topeka eating our small local mom and pops and supporting them. And that will increase our town a ton.
Absolutely. So if someone wanted to come and visit your establishments, since I keep saying them wrong.
No, you're getting there. We're getting you.
Okay. So how would they, first off, where are they located? Obviously, they're in Noto, but what are they looking for?
So basically, if you would head north of the river, and it's in the 8 and 900 block of North Kansas Avenue. And so it's where the old post office is that you kind of starts our block, and that's where our new art center is. And if you hit it, you will see 8 and 900 block. And obviously, we are open each and every week. So don't let anybody, I think a lot of times people just think it's First Friday. And we're not. We're open all the time. So come down. Our service businesses are obviously open each and every week. But the restaurants and things, I think Wheelbarrow's open now 7 days a week, maybe. Noto Burrito is Tuesday through Saturday. So there's so much going on down there. And then we now have, downtown is just kicking it. So with the two of us, we're just tearing it up. It's kind of fun.
Absolutely. So check you out on websites. Where would they go?
So if you went to, you could go to Noto, Noto, Pinkadilly, Pinkad as in dog, ILLY. Or you could even go to my name, JennyTorrence.com, and then it'll take you to a link to all of my sites. So that way, if you want to find out about an event space or what our burritos are, I also have my blog on there. So if you want to follow along on my crazy antics and my travels, you're going to laugh at the end of it and you might shake your head, but you're going to find some fun stuff. So if you go there, you can reach me all that way. You can message me, catch me anyway.
All right. And if you're looking to buy or sell, be sure and give us a call at 785-213-5188. And if you want to check out our website, it is nekansashomes.com. That covers all of Northeast Kansas and into Missouri also. So it's really the only site you need to go to. And you can save whatever you need and go back and look at it later. So thanks for joining us on Real Estate 101.
Thank you for listening to Real Estate 101 with the Karey Brown team from Realty Executives Preferred Advisors. Tune in again next Sunday at 11 o'clock for Real Estate 101.